I would, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call to order. This meeting, which is hereby called to order at 8:16 p.m., is in compliance with the notice requirements of law. Public notice was posted in the office of the Board of Education and communicated to the municipal clerk, the Daily Record, and the Star Ledger on January 11, 2018. Would you all please join me in the pledge? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. May I please have a roll call?
Okay, Mr. Brucio, Ms. Dodd,
Here.
Ms. Rosales,
Here.
Mrs. Mullen,
Here.
Mrs. Phillips,
Here.
Ms. Rosario,
Here.
Ms. Ruiz,
Here.
Mr. Sarnio,
Here.
Dr. Sainer,
Here.
Ms. Gillespie.
Here. And I would like to welcome the public. Thank you very much for taking time out of your schedules to come to this meeting tonight. We recognize that public input is critically important to the decisions that we make here as a Board of Education. And I would like to open the public portion of the meeting right now, which will be on agenda items only. And so if there is an agenda, I'm here tonight, folks, I really am. So if there are any public comments that you would like to make regarding agenda items, you've all received an agenda. Now is the time to do that, and if you're going to do so, could you please stand, give your name, your address, and make your statements. Yes?
Good evening. Susan Shower, 346 West Clinton Street in Dover. I just wanted to congratulate the board. I did see online this afternoon that the district passed New Jersey CUSAC, and I know what an effort that is to prepare, go through the monitoring process for the whole entire district. Congratulations to Mr. Becker, Ms. Schoonmaker, Ms. Jenish on compiling all of the work that needs to be done, their administration, and then of course the board. So thank you very much. It means a tremendous amount of work by the district, but it's also it's a huge benefit for the town because it does impact our payments from the state of New Jersey, perhaps I should say, if we don't pass it. So thank you very much for your efforts.
And Ms. Shower, I'd like to also say thank you for your appreciation of the board, but I'd like to say that we know that CUSAC is on a 3-year cycle, and certainly it's not just this board that is responsible for the passing of CUSAC, but also the previous board, because it would not, if it had not been for the previous board's efforts, we would certainly not be where we are today. So I'd like to thank those board members that are in the prior board members that are in the public to say thank you for your service and your assistance in helping the board to achieve its goal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Anyone else on agenda items? No? Okay, if there are no further comments at this point in time, I will move communications over to Ms. Jenish.
Okay. I'm pleased to announce that the proposed 2018-19 Dover Board of Education budget was approved by the county without any comments and or corrections. Congratulations to the Finance Committee and the administration on this achievement. The board will also be advertising the budget in this weekend's newspaper, and the budget hearing will be on April 24th.
Okay. And now we have the communications portion about this evening. Sure, certainly that might be a good time.
And we would just also like to acknowledge that the Board of Education, through my office, did receive a number of public comments with respect to the proposed settlement from the Mine Hill Board of Education. Those were comments that we referenced this at a prior meeting that comments were directed to the Commissioner of Education regarding the proposed settlement, and a number of such comments were received by the Commissioner, and the Commissioner then forwarded them to the district.
Thank you, too.
It's just the next step in the process of the Commissioner considering.
Thank you. Board Secretary and Treasurer's report.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that the board acknowledges the receipt of certification that no line item account has encumbrances and expenditures, and to accept the treasurer's monthly financial report.
Second.
Okay, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Rosales?
Yes.
Mrs. Mullen?
Yes.
Ms. Phillips?
Yes.
Ms. Rosario?
Yes.
Ms. Ruiz?
Yes.
Mr. Scarnio?
Yes.
Dr. Sainer?
Yes.
Ms. Pelestis?
Yes. Okay. And now we move to the superintendent's report.
Well, thank you, ma'am. We've only had 3 school days since the last meeting. Brevity is our middle name tonight. We do have the following out-of-district placement and transportation cost for some special needs students, and that would be numbers 86 and 82. 82, the second part includes an aid that is necessary for that student.
So moved.
Second. May I please have a roll call vote?
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Rosales?
Yes.
Mrs. Mullen?
Yes.
Mrs. Phillips?
Yes.
Ms. Rosario?
Yes.
Ms. Ruiz?
Yes.
Mr. Scarnio?
Yes.
Dr. Sainer?
Yes.
Ms. Pelestis?
Yes.
And for your edification, we had the termination of one of the students. We just simply announced that so you have an idea of some students are no longer receiving services. The next item is field trip approval. And once again, since we haven't had much time, we only have one field trip that we're asking for your approval, and that is the annual trip to the Senior Citizen Center, where our classes sit and entertain and read stories to our population. It's a nice annual event.
Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
And a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Rosales?
Yes.
Mrs. Mullen?
Yes.
Mrs. Phillips?
Yes.
Ms. Rosario?
Yes.
Ms. Ruiz?
Yes.
Mr. Scarnio?
Yes.
Dr. Sainer?
Yes.
Ms. Pelestis?
Yes.
The next item, we passed QZAC, which is, thanks Ms. Schauer, our huge evaluation system. It is good for 3 years, and it's a very, very significant accomplishment for the district because it does rank us as a high-performing district. Dover applied to be judged under the new guidelines, which in some cases are even stricter, but it does give us also credit for growth and progress of our students within the test scores. And because the board approved it, and because we had approval for the commissioner, the end result of the evaluation is we received some very good scores and are considered passing. I do want to point out that Ms. Schoonmaker was just superb in putting all the data together. We had a day worth of reviewing a lot of the data. We had different representatives come in and speak with the State Department. But it's because of Ms. Schoonmaker's, I'm trying to think of how to say this without embarrassing her, but because of her knowledge of education, her grasp of issues, her technological prowess, and her ability to take a bunch of data and present it in a way that's very impressive yet very easily understandable, I think that's a primary reason why we're able to accelerate the process. So because of her input and because of all she's done on behalf of the district and to achieve this goal, along with many of our teachers and supervisors and administrative staff, I thought it only appropriate that I ask her to say a few words about the QZAC process, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just very briefly, we're very glad to be done with it for 3 years. They came in on March 27th. It was the county executive superintendent, the ed specialist, and the special ed director. As you may or may not know, CUSAC, when they come in to do the quality single accountability continuing review, it's based on analyzing and scoring our district performance in 5 different areas: instruction and program, finance, operations, governance, and personnel. 4 of those were done as a desk audit. There was the instruction and program, that was the real focus of the visit. We had some help in the form of supervisors coming in to explain the curriculum. They're big on curriculum, very big on data analysis. What we did with how we broke down our data and then what did we do with it to improve student performance. Because we scored over 80 in all 5 areas, we'll be designated as a high-performing district at a State Board of Education meeting. The commissioner will recommend to the State Board of Education that we're certified as a thorough and efficient school district for a period of at least 3 years.
And I want to thank you on behalf of the board and the community for all of the work that you put in. This, obviously, CUSAC is a team effort. It's something that we could not do without our teachers, without our administrators, without everybody working together to achieve this. This is really an overall process. I'm not sure that everybody realizes how in-depth it is and how much information needs to be shared. When you go through this process, it can be really, really challenging for a school district to go through it. So that we're, highly achieving is terrific. And I just want to say, if there's any staff members out there, or those of you who you can tell the staff members that the board is so pleased that this team effort had a positive impact. But I don't think it's just the fact that we passed CUSAC. I think the fact that we passed CUSAC shows that we're doing good things for children, because that's part of it, the curriculum and the personnel, that's part of CUSAC. So if we're getting great scores, it means that we're doing things that positively impact our kids. And that, I know, this whole board, that's their goal. So thanks, everybody. Ms. Grisales, personnel.
The board moves to approve staff and extra services appointments for the 2017-18 school year as listed from number 1 to number 4.
Okay, that's your motion.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Rosales?
Yes.
Mrs. Mullen?
Yes.
Mrs. Phillips?
Yes.
Ms. Rosario?
Yes.
Ms. Ruiz?
Yes.
Mr. Scarnio?
Yes.
Dr. Sainer?
Yes.
Ms. Pelestis?
Yes. We do. Negotiations. You're negotiating. Mr. Scarnio.
We're in negotiations. We have not had a meeting since our last meeting.
Okay.
There's not another meeting scheduled until the end of the month. And while both sides are not discussing negotiations in public, I have noticed that there's a bunch of signs going up around town saying settle now, so I don't know where those are coming from. I don't think we put them out.
We don't. Okay. Thank you very much. And curricular and co-curricular activities, Mrs. Mullen.
I don't have anything to report tonight.
Okay. Community relations. Sorry, Kim, last time I turned it over to you.
That's fine. So we have the menograms that are attached to all of the agendas, and then as a reminder to those of you who have Facebook, that Dover School has a Facebook page where achievements, news, information is updated on a relatively regular basis.
I didn't notice on the Facebook page, that we had our CUSAC
Yes.
thing. That was cool. That was cool.
Ms. Pelesas, if I may make a comment in this section?
Sure.
I just wanted to express my admiration of the article in the Eastover Tiger Tales entitled "Middle School Students Participated in National School Walkout." Student Council President, as listed in the menugram, and the Tiger Times newspaper staff writer Ahmed El Said quoted one of my heroes, the Honorable Thurgood Marshall, highlighted the importance of civil disobedience, and thanked the administration for respecting our students' First Amendment rights. The piece was powerfully written and impeccably edited, so I want to make sure we give kudos, or I give kudos to the student and to the Tiger Tales advisor. I'm not sure who that is. And I also noticed in the menugram that the Common Scholarship Survey deadline for high school seniors is April 16th, 2018. So I wanted to make sure that we verbalized that and highlighted that as often and as much as possible.
Do we have that on our website, Bob, that April 16th is done?
I'm not sure if it's on the website. We'll check and make sure. It might
Check
be on
it.
the high school
You
site.
know, if maybe, if it's.
It is on the site, Mr. Mayor?
Manugram's on the site.
No, but what I'm saying is the April 16th deadline, can we get that kind
It's on the
of
front.
front and center?
That was pretty light, right?
It is?
Sure.
It was like half a page.
We'll make sure.
I saw it.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, and I thank you, Ms. Ruiz, for, mentioning a student who wrote an essay that was a powerful essay, and we have a lot of kids doing some incredible things here, so that's great. Okay, and we move on to policy. Ms. Ruiz.
Thank you. The Policy Committee is exploring a policy writing training, which I'm personally very excited about and grateful to Ms. Grisales for initiating that. We're awaiting a response from our board president about if and when the NJSBA, the New Jersey School Boards Association, will present such a training to our board. We also recently met on Saturday, April 7th, again to review the policies that we have agreed to review, edit, and hopefully adopt for this, for the remainder of this year. We recognize, based on, we did hear the last comments in the last regular session, we recognize that Strauss Esme is the company the board contracts with, and for policy templates and expert policy guidance, and that they provide policies that our board trusts. So we do want to ensure that our policy edits either come from or are reviewed by Strauss Esme experts. And to date, we have not received access to Strauss Esme, but the ball is rolling. So we do expect to benefit from their guidance and present policies, hopefully at the next regular session.
Okay, that's terrific. And by the way, in response to your regarding exploring policy training with school boards, I was just contacted today via email from Charlene Peterson. I did respond to her. Unfortunately, I was in meetings all day. She did try to call me, but I was in meetings, didn't get home, and then came to this. So I will reach out to her again to talk to her about that.
Thank you.
Okay. So there being no movement on this, I don't need a roll call vote. Buildings and grounds, it's back to you. It's back to you, Mr. Scarnio.
Don't report now.
Don't wait, you've got a rental under buildings and grounds.
Oh, I take it back, yes, we do have a rental. We have a rental,
Mike,
yeah.
are you, Mike, did you drink
Yeah.
the same water I drank now?
It's been a rough day.
Yes.
Yes, I'll move that we approve the use of facilities for the Dover Education Association. They will use the Dover High School cafeteria on April 26th from 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. For their optical academy.
Second.
May I have a roll call vote, please?
Ms. Dodd?
Yes.
Ms. Grisales?
Yes.
Mrs. Mullen?
Yes.
Mrs. Phillips?
Yes.
Ms. Rosaro?
Yes.
Ms. Ruiz?
Yes.
Mr. Scarnio?
Yes.
Dr. Sainer?
Yes.
Ms. Pelestis?
Yes. And Dr. Seaton.
Okay, I'd like to draw your attention to items A1 through 6, especially drawing your attention to number 4. There have been several very generous contributions to 3 different scholarship funds. that benefit our students, so that's wonderful.
Do I have a motion?
Second?
I have a motion and a second.
Discussion?
Yes. I know I haven't said that at all tonight, but yes.
Just
Discussion.
maybe you can just expand on the school-based youth service program, which was pretty exciting.
Oh, yes. And for that, I'm going to defer to,
The semi?
The school.
no, the school-based youth services
The
program.
school-based youth services program is a very unique situation. As you recall, not too long ago, there was an additional stipend of $4,000. This is now another stipend from the state of New Jersey. They said they had some funding that they're willing to distribute. So this will be used for supplies, a lot of supplies for counseling, and also some materials that may be advantageous for students in need. It's pretty unrestricted. So they're able to go ahead and provide a lot of goods and services and materials for the Tiger Route program, and this is unanticipated funding, so that's always one of the nicest times to get.
I was just going to say, you know, money you didn't expect. It's good. It's really good. Any questions?
If I may,
Yes,
Mr. Estes?
please.
I was wondering if we can talk a little bit about, or have a discussion on the Senate, and maybe provide the public with a little explanation of it. Perhaps why are we asked to have a correction action plan, and in that regards, please?
And we've asked Mr. Gamio to come
I was
tonight.
going to say,
John is our Director of Special Services who runs the semi-program, so I thought there's nobody more appropriate than to describe the process and where we stand at this point with our semi-funding.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to everyone tonight. I did get a list of questions from Mr. Becker and Mr. Bowler. I think that actually the questions are really good. And I think what they'll do is they'll outline a lot of the concerns that we face, the problems that we face. And then if there are additional questions after that, I certainly will invest in answer those. The first question really was, why do we have a semi-corrective action plan? What's the reason for it? Okay, and the reason is actually, it's very simple. The reason is we did not reach the required amount of revenue that was required through the special education Medicaid initiative. Okay, now there was a question about parental participation rate. The parental participation rate is a little bit misleading because the final report will indicate that there was 100% parental participation rate. That's actually not the case. The reason that says that is all they're really asking you, did the school make an effort to reach all the parents? Can you document that you actually tried to reach all the parents? And we did. So it indicates a 100% parental participation rate, but the reality is that's not the case. Okay. The question then is why? Why are parents reluctant to sign off on something like the Special Education Medicaid Initiative? First of all, just to backtrack a moment, what the Special Education Medicaid Initiative does is to defray the cost of services for schools. For instance, like speech services, occupational therapy, physical therapy. Okay, that's what it does. Now, the question is why would parents be reluctant to sign off on something like that? Well, what happens is when a parent signs off on this, we need to send a file up on EasyTrack, this is the site. Okay, and what happens is parents' personal identifiable information, student records or information about the services have to be released to Medicaid, and they also have to be released to the Department of the Treasury. And it's been my experience in the past that, again, some parents are reluctant to have that information released, which does make it difficult to meet the revenue projections. That's one of the reasons. We'll get into some of the other ones a little bit later. There was a question about the projected timelines regarding the corrective action plan. Okay. The semi-curricular, what happens is that the state actually puts forth a template. Okay? The template was made available in December of 2017. I worked with the child study team staff, I worked with our secretaries to really try to come up with the best strategies we could to try to increase the revenue. Okay? So that took a little bit of time. Okay? But we did make it effective starting in February. And that's part of what needs to be submitted regarding the budget to the county. Some of the different things that we're doing, first and foremost, we're trying to increase the parental participation rate. And that's, although again, you won't see that in the final report, that really is a key indicator. Okay? We're working with outside providers. We want to make certain that all of the SEMI services, if a child is eligible for SEMI, whether it's speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy, etc., that's all documented in Easy Track. We also have to make sure that all those services are clearly documented in students' IEPs. Okay? We also have to make sure we have that the licenses, and certificates of staff are on file in our district, because without an updated license and an updated certificate, even if the child is getting the services, if the person is not highly qualified in terms of SEMI, we don't get reimbursed for those services. Okay? There was a question why we didn't apply for a waiver. But good question. It is quite time consuming. It is revenue for the district, but most importantly, we can. Okay? The only way you could apply for a waiver is if you have 40 or fewer Medicaid eligible students. And we're well over that number, which I'll get into a little bit later. Okay? Another question was, have we needed the SEMI action plan in the past? If this is a recurring challenge, what are we doing differently this time to avoid this problem in the future? Okay. We have had a semi-corrective action plan in the past. I believe the last one was 2014. It's getting progressively more difficult to meet the benchmark set from STEMI. We're doing a couple of things. I mean, we're doing a lot of different things. But in general, what we're trying to do is, again, we really need, well, you won't see it in a final report, we really do need more positive parental consent. Okay? And we also have to make sure that on a frequent basis that we're sending up files through Easy Track so that if we get a new parental consent, that they get that information as soon as possible so that we can claim those services and that we can obviously be reimbursed for them. So that's something we've done over too. We send those up, as frequently as possible, more frequently than we did do last year. So hopefully that will make some difference. There was a question about the Budget Committee. The Budget Committee reviewed this plan prior to submission for approval to the full board. Okay? No. In the past, when we did have the semi-corrective action plan before, this is really something that's done completely in the child study team office. We work closely with the secretaries and work closely with the child study team regarding it, closely with out-of-district providers. And what we're trying to do is increase the revenue. But as a budget committee reviewed it, no. It's something that's done specifically within our office. Okay. Another very good question. What is the actual percentage of participation in SEMI? It's a little difficult to answer, but I'll do the best that I can. Right now, we have 154 students who are SEMI eligible. Okay. Now, that number by itself is a little bit misleading, because just because you have 154 students who are SEMI eligible, it doesn't mean that you can be reimbursed